let's take you live now to Durban, where we find my colleague Ziyanda Ngcobo, who is tracking the story around former President Jacob Zuma's supporters who apparently are heading to People's Park in Durban. That's where a welcome home ceremony, a special sort of prayer meeting is expected to be held. Zuma, you'll remember, released on medical parole back in September. Ziyanda Ngcobo joins us now live with the latest. In line with COVID-19 restrictions, we're told, Ziyanda, around 2,000 people being bussed in from around the country. The big question this morning, will we see the former president in the flesh for the first time since his release on medical parole?
Well, that's certainly what the expectation is, Michelle, that former President Jacob Zuma will also be here at People's Park. But perhaps I should ask Carl Niehaus, who, of course, is someone who's familiar to us when it comes to events related to the former president. I mean, we will be seeing former President Jacob Zuma today, shall we?
It's likely. I'm not going to go into the details of the program. We'll wait and see how it unfolds.
Why don't you want to go into the details of the program? You're expecting scores of people to come here. Surely you should be telling them whether or not they will be seeing Zuma arriving here today. We saw that video seeking to get people to campaign, to go out and vote, I should say. Why wouldn't you want to share that?
What I'm saying to you is that it's likely, and I'm not going to confirm beyond to that. We'll wait and see. It will be a nice surprise. So I think by saying that it will be a nice surprise, you understand what I'm saying.
Well, I suppose maybe this is linked to the fact that he's out on medical parole?
Well, President Zuma will comply with all the regulations and provisions of the medical parole. That we will be absolutely making sure of, and he himself will make sure that he complies with those.
Will you be making sure that you comply with the COVID-19 regulations where only 2,000 people are allowed outdoors? Last week, if not the week before, Zonele Manyi of the Jacob Zuma Foundation said that all are welcome. How will you be controlling the numbers?
We will try to comply under the circumstances. You can see that there are 2 tents that separate the people who will be coming in terms of the guests for President Zuma and also the VIPs. And then there is also space here for the rest of the people who are coming. We will do our best, but as Zonele Manyi also indicated to you, it is a challenge which we will try to deal with, and we hope that we will be treated in exactly the same way that President Cyril Ramaphosa, every other person who is campaigning also in this upcoming elections, are being treated in an understanding that when you deal with crowds, you do your very best to comply under difficult circumstances.
All right. Well, Michelle, Carl Niehaus, of course, is one of the organizers for today's Welcome Home Prayer, not really wanting to come out and confirm very clearly that former President Jacob Zuma will be here today, seeming to hint that he definitely will be in attendance. But of course, Michelle, we know that there's a lot of controversy around his release on medical parole. I'm talking about the DA, Helen Suzman Foundation and AfriForum already, deposing papers within the country's courts to actually review that decision to grant him medical parole. Arthur Fraser, the former Correctional Services Commissioner, no longer in that position to explain, of course, the reasons as to why he granted medical parole. And so certainly that is one of the key things that one will be looking out for. Will the former president be here? If he is here, will he be complying with all the conditions that actually, you have to follow when you're released on medical parole?
Ziyanda Ngcobo, thanks very much indeed for that update. She's live to us there from the venue where that special prayer will be taking place.